Fucking Damon's face.
Oh.
Ooh.
Not recently. Because the next thing is what? Is it Starfighter or Ahsoka? Who indeed? I'll tell you who knows. Not Kathleen Kennedy, because she's not in charge anymore. I'm Chris.
I'm Matt.
I don't know if House of the Dragon is the kind of show that I would watch with a bowl of cereal first thing in the morning.
No. I will go look at the stream on my phone.
Is OBS showing output, like volume output right now? Okay, is it showing output when you talk? Oh. Is it showing output when you talk?
I can hear Chris through my speaker on my phone.
Yeah, okay, yeah, okay. We found it. We found the problem.
Speaker on my phone.
Yeah, okay, yeah, okay.
Oh, turn that off, Matt. Okay, I fixed it.
Yeah,
I fixed
I
it.
was
You should,
literally turning it off.
you should be able to hear my my voice now on the stream. La 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 la. Hello there.
Okay.
I was waiting for Matt to
General
confirm.
Kenobi.
It's because I closed it out, so I'm opening it.
Okay, well
Yeah.
we'll go back, and I'm just gonna count to however long it
Go
takes
la
for
la
you.
la la la.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah, we're good.
Okay,
We're
yeah.
good.
That's Streamlabs OBS just killed my input for some reason. I had to like put it back on. And anyway, welcome back to Jedi Enclave. I'm Daniel.
I'm Chris.
This is swing 2 of our show, the Jedi Enclave presents the Now This Is Podcasting podcast. We're joined by our producer Matt, who the three of us watched this week. House of the Dragon season 2 episode season 3 episode 2, which was called Queen's Landing. Which I thought was kind of a neat little like play on. Yeah,
I see what they were doing there.
Yeah. So, before we get into this, Chris, what spoiler-free thoughts do you have? And then we're gonna go to Matt, and then I'll finish before we get into spoilers.
I think you were the first one to mention this, but Emma Darcy is so good.
She is amazing. They are amazing. I'm sorry. I have a habit of misgendering people on accident. I don't mean to.
But like they have a scene very early on that they just absolutely sell so well, and like even
it's so
the
good.
entire rest of this episode,
It's so good.
So good.
It's so good. That girl, like, see it there. I did it again. Fuck.
That human being.
That human being deserves an Emmy. And if Emma Darcy doesn't get an Emmy, we fucking riot, and we riot the second it doesn't happen. April says, "Hello, Chris, Daniel, and friends." What's up, April? Well, this is a live stream, by the way. So as we go, we'll read comments and shit. As we go along
My
here.
other big thought.
Also,
is
sorry, Chris. Sorry, Chris.
Go ahead.
April, you're like one of the dudes. So if you ever want to join the podcast and talk about House of the Dragon, you are more than welcome. I wouldn't extend that to everyone, but Anyway, continue.
Okay. So like on a pacing perspective, I guess this episode has kind of like a first half and a second half.
Yeah,
where
there's
like
a
the first
lot.
half is them sort of reacting to everything that happened, all the crazy shit that just happened, and the second half is like, okay, what are we doing now?
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of shows might be tempted to split this into two completely different episodes,
Like Star Wars Acolyte.
Just because there is that sort of difference in energy between the two halves.
True. Matt, you got any spoiler-free insights you want to impart on the masses?
I guess the only thing I can think of without spoiling is Damon's facial expressions throughout the whole episode is
that's
very interesting.
Yeah, Matt Smith is Matt Smith is a global treasure. I agree.
Yeah, dude's a genius with his face.
You know what I really found myself loving is that there's new music for this season.
Yes.
And it's different than what we've seen in the previous two seasons. It's still Raymond Djawadi doing the music. And I think we even forgot to mention it the last show that there's a new recording of the opening theme, the opening Game of Thrones theme, that has like different drums and stuff, and it sounds really, really cool. And there's this new musical material that he wrote for only season 3 that is like this pulsing. It's just new musical material that we've not heard in the show before, and I found myself really digging it. I think it's been really cool.
You're going out to war.
Yeah, and obviously I co-sign all of the praises of Emma Darcy, and honestly the rest of the cast. I feel like there isn't a bad performance in this entire show, which is amazing. So good for them. We're gonna get into spoilers now, so if you've not seen the episode yet, go and watch it, and then come back and watch this and let us know.
Seriously, go watch it. It's really good.
It is. It's amazing. It's incredible. So come back, and if you have seen it, let us know in the chat what you thought, what your favorite parts were, and why your favorite part was Daemon dancing in front of the head of Jason Lannister on a bike, because that was pretty great.
What about Noodle Boy drinking?
Oh, that was my favorite part. That was in fact, you should have been with when Matt and I watched this Sunday night. I almost died.
Like both of us, we were both like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah. Also, there's a scene where Cyrax and Caraxes were like canoodling.
Oh yeah.
In the fucking dragon pit, they were like touching noses. It was so. I think they were boyfriend girlfriend. Yeah. I think. Anyway, hold on, hold please. Okay. Then. So something else that could be said that isn't necessarily a spoiler, but we're into spoilers anyway, is that the visual language and the cinematography of all of these seasons has been amazing. And I'm pretty sure that they've had, I can't remember off the top of my head, Claire Kellner, I think, directed this episode, who's been directing episodes kind of throughout and has been really good. I know a lot of people were a little nervous when Miguel Sapochnik left, because he was kind of responsible for some of the biggest Game of Thrones episodes and everything, but I think they've done just fine without him. And I love this shot. We're kind of visiting the aftermath of the Battle of the Gullet.
Well, it's not quite the aftermath, because as this particular screenshot shows, there's still dragon fire being rained down.
Right. Well, I think those guys are. I think they're just kind of like cleaning up what was left. But yeah, they are still an active battle zone. And they're like the next shot that it's really hard for me to get screenshots, because as I go through, I'm like, oh, that's really cool, I have to get that. Oh, that's really cool, I have to get that. And this ends up being like 300 slides long. And I just like how this one triarchy guy in the boat, this dragon's just like, yeah, fuck you in particular. He went out of his way to burn this one guy when he could have just left him alone.
Personally, if I knew that my enemy had giant flying nuclear fire powered lizards, I would not ride a wooden boat
No,
to meet them.
no.
That just seems like bad plan.
I would get in the water. I would just float in the water and pretend to be dead, I think. That's exactly what I would do. There is this heartbreaking shot of Bela, who has recovered Jace's body and is flying it back to Dragonstone. And I think this is kind of a neat thing where it's not neat so much as it is a careful detail that the dragon tamers, the dragon keepers, seem to have their own, I guess, ritual for handling the body of a dead dragon rider, because it's the dragon keepers that carry him off of Moon Dancer and into Dragonstone. Bela,
which is weird because it isn't the tradition supposed to be that like a dragon rider dies with their dragon.
yeah, which I mean, well, I think a dragon rider is supposed to die in fire. That's kind of what they're supposed to do. I don't think that would stop them from doing their whole thing. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm just thinking of Rhaenys, who like there was never any chance to recover her body, and like I would imagine a lot of dragon riders would die in similar situations where you would just never be able to get the body.
Sure, yeah, it's like when Rhaena, or not Rhaena, Bela and Rhaena's mom, shit, I can't remember her name. Laena. When it becomes evident that she's going to die in childbirth, just has Vhagar immolate her, and there's really nothing left. That's kind of the preferred death of a dragon rider. But like Bela's obviously really upset about this, and she knows that she's fucked up, by the way, because she is party to the literal treason that happened in the last episode. She knew that Jace had locked Rhaenyra away, and that they were going rogue, and they were gonna they supplanted the word of the queen, and they were gonna go do what they wanted to do. And I think they thought that if things had gone their way, and when they came back, that she would understand. But things didn't go their way, and this is the look of a man who realized that he locked his queen away, committed treason, and it resulted in the death of her son.
It was at that moment he knew.
Yeah,
he fucked up.
He fucked up. And this gets into what we were talking about in the spoiler-free section about Emma Darcy's performance. There is, having seen, in real life, in first-person account, the kind of grief a parent goes through when their child dies. This is as close to authentic as I could possibly imagine. The way she delivers this scene, and she seems almost in denial at first, even though his body is right in front of her.
The very first thing she says is, "Jace, what did you do?"
Yeah, what have you done?
She repeats that like 4 or 5 times. To Jace's very clearly dead body.
Yeah. I know that the guy that plays Jacaerys was talking about how they spent 10 hours doing this scene, and how he had to play dead for 10 hours and have her hit him with her hands for like 10 hours. But also said that every take that she did was as intense as the one they used. So I'm sure that was like a really exhausting, kind of an exhausting thing for them.
Emotionally, if nothing else.
Yeah. So, Sir Lauren tries to pull her away, which, first of all, how the fuck dare you, sir? Like, you were first in line to this treason, and you like trying to step in and trying to like tell her not to grieve her son, and
that's more or less exactly
what she says, right? And then he realizes, he's like, oh right, I did a treason. My life is forfeit. So, and I like how her first reaction was like what the fuck what good would that do? Like if I have you killed here, which is funny because later she's like, you know what, fuck it, die, I don't care. She like walks off, but she's there's a line that says, like, would it wake my dead son? And that's when she goes back over, when she realizes that she said the words out loud, that her son is dead. And that's when she goes over again and cradles his dead body. And you sit there and you're like, oh my God, this is the most heartbreaking thing I've ever seen in my life.
It's like saying it makes it real.
Yeah. So we spend a little time with
We
Lady
go off to the Vale.
Yeah, Lady Longneck in the Vale, Lady Longneck Aaron, who has a knock at the front, has a knock at the Bloody Gate. She goes out on her horse to meet Bela, and she's like, she looks over first of all and sees Sheepstealer, and is like, what the fuck are you doing here? You were supposed to be on a ship, on your way to Pentos. And
I love the detail of how disheveled Bela is.
that's
Like,
my next slide.
She's covered in smoke.
Yeah.
Her hair is just everywhere.
She's like, I may have erred.
I may have made a mistake.
Yeah,
I would like to claim asylum.
Yeah, I want asylum for me and my new dragon. And I do like how she sticks up for Sheepstealer. She was like Sheepstealer was frightened and people were throwing fireballs at her or him, and like he didn't know what to do. And it's like, yes, that is what happened, Raina, and that's why you don't take a wild fucking dragon into battle. It's that simple, right? And
Lady Longneck is like, all right, I am definitely not giving you anything because your actions directly led to the death of the Crown Prince of the realm.
Yep.
So get the fuck out here. To which Raina responds, do you want a dragon or not?
Yeah, right. So I like how Lady Aaron points out, she's like, the queen will be hunting you relentlessly. And I need that shit not to happen anywhere around me. And Raina brings up the fact that in the last season, Lady Aaron was really displeased because Rhaenyra offered her a dragon, and when she delivered, it's a little bitty tiny baby dragon that isn't even going to be able to fly for several years. And that's what Raina kind of opens with, but it's also kind of a threat, right? So it's like, you weren't pleased with your dragon, I can provide assistance or protection. The other side of that sword being, I could burn this whole fucking place down. So
I don't know if that was.
That is the vibe.
Implied.
That's the vibe I got, and that's when Lady Aaron was kind of like, "Well, dragons do whatever the fuck they want, and I can't stop that."
Is a huge place.
Right.
Sheepstealer has been hiding for God knows how
Right.
long. What can I do against a dragon?
Yes, but please don't come knocking on my door anymore, please. Goodbye.
just go eat some sheep in the hills and fuck off.
So the Rivermen and Damon are having a party after a big, apparent from what I understand, a big battle.
Party.
Yeah, a big battle from the book called the Fish Feed, where the Winter Wolves and a bunch of the Rivermen had the bloodiest battle in the entire war. Where I can't remember the exact figure, but it might have been like close to 50,000 men were killed. And we're visiting the aftermath of that. From what I hear about the battle, it kind of sucks we didn't get to see it, but that's kind of how Game of Thrones has been since day one. In season one, or in season two, everyone's kind of hoping they're going to see the Battle of the Whispering Wood with Robb Stark, and they didn't have the budget for it. They're like, so like Robb comes like riding up on a horse. He's like, I won. There, yay. And that's exactly what they're doing here.
They have to pick their moments, okay?
Right.
The Battle of the Gullet took a lot of money.
Yeah. So here we see the guy who leads the Winter Wolves in Alysanne Blackwood, and they're having a party. They're singing a little song, and they're eating fish, and they're drinking a bunch of alcohol. And Daemon is singing along, using props and having a great fucking time. This I'm not sure we've ever seen Daemon this happy before. I'm struggling to think of a single time in this show that Daemon has been this happy. Maybe when he killed his wife.
Yeah.
His first wife.
Daemon Targaryen contains multitudes.
Yeah, he definitely does. And I also love this Oscar Tully just fucking remember 2 weeks ago his grandfather was in charge of the Riverlands and he was just like a teenager, and now he's been off to battle and he's getting drunk. I'm so happy for this kid. He's living the fucking high life. Simon Strong shows up with his 2 idiots, like sons or grandsons or whatever, and makes a goofy comment about it's like the old days and everyone's eating meat and there are young virile men, and Damon's like, is that why you're here, for the young virile men? And he's like, I'll never tell. So he's brought a gift of what the Strongs,
best wine in the Strongs, and also
right.
a message from the Queen.
Yeah, I've got this letter here from the Queen, and Damon reads it, puts it down. He's like, well, my stepson's dead. Oh boy, I'm on my way to King's Landing to claim King's Landing for the Queen. So all right, here's the plan. You guys march to meet me there, and it's gonna be like we ball, right? And everyone's really happy about it. And so I guess now that means the Rivermen are on their way to King's Landing.
Yeah, that is the plan.
Yeah. This is, of course, I had to put the shot of Caraxes drinking water because it is literally one of the most adorable, beautiful things I've ever seen.
This is how much of the dragons are practical versus CG, do you think?
Well, like this shot, I think he's 100% CG. I think
that's pretty impressive then.
Yeah.
Like the water that drains out of his mouth is pretty convincing.
What is that called? Why am I blanking on this all of a sudden? Photoreal is the term we're looking for. Yeah, it's perfect. I'm pretty sure that all of the dragons are CG. I think if you're seeing a dragon, it's CG. And I know that like when they do the scenes of them riding, they've got that actor up on a buck on a hydraulic thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they do something like kind of like the volume to do the backgrounds and shit. So this is a conversation that Alice Rivers and Damon's having, which is pretty much like Alice Rivers saying, hey, I did all these really great things for you. I sent like the Three Stooges away to go help. I was like, I'm not saying I murdered Grover Tully and let Oscar Tully take over, but I did say exactly when he was going to die. And so like you have that. I helped you muster an army of 40,000 river dudes. So
look, I helped you out a whole bunch.
Yeah.
I feel like it's time for you to help me out
right.
a little bit.
And you know what?
Like,
I'm not asking much. Just a little bitty gift of Harrenhal. And Damon's like, yeah, no, that's never going to happen for several reasons. Some of them are a little misogynistic, but the main reason being that this is an extraordinarily valuable fortress. We can't just give it to you, who, if I'm being honest, still kind of creeps me out.
Like you might actually be a barn owl, and
right?
Like I haven't figured that out.
I've not seen evidence to disprove your claim about you being a barn owl. So let's cool it on that. He does promise he's like, you know what? I'll talk to Rhaenyra and see what other gifts I can get you. And she's like, bitch, I didn't stutter. I want Harrenhal.
Her line is something like, I am starving and you offer me
rubies. Right? Yeah.
Like
she has such an odd manner of speaking. Like she talks like this in weird, abstract, like little things.
Almost like you can imagine a barn owl speaking.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. I've heard a couple. So yeah, he's like, well, I'm gonna go, and she's like, okay, well, don't come back here. Remember what I told you, which I think is a callback to her being like, you're gonna die in this place.
I think so.
Yeah, because she tells him in the second season, she's like, yeah, you're gonna die here at the God's Eye. So I think this is.
She hasn't been wrong so far.
True. Yeah. So, fucking Jace's body is not even cold, and here's Baela, looking up, Alan, and being like, "Hey." That's not what's really happening, by the way.
No, like honestly, if I was Baela, I would want to be as far away from Rhaenyra as possible.
No kidding.
She knows what happened.
Right.
Like, I'm just gonna go so as to not be here anymore.
Right.
Just in case you're feeling angry.
Yeah. That's the thing, is that like Baela is Rhaenyra's stepdaughter, and one of her more experienced dragon riders. So she can't execute her for treason, obviously. But I imagine that Rhaenyra doesn't want her hanging around. So she goes back. Alan's trying to find Corlys, and they have this interesting conversation about their experiences with Corlys, because Bela grew up not being a bastard, like in the family, and being spoiled by her stern but kind of awesome fucking grandpa. And Alan did not have the same experience, other than knowing that Corlys is extraordinarily stern, right? And I found this detail really sweet, that Bela was like, why Corlys didn't, like, why he acts the way he does toward you. It's because he felt shame and felt like he hurt Rhaenys, and like didn't want to further that. Like he was acting the way he was acting because of her, and because of how he felt.
His wife more than his children sired out of wedlock.
Right. And Corlys is like, that's kind of fucked up. And she's like, yeah.
Alan is like.
Oh, wait, what did I say?
You said Corlys.
Yeah, no, Alan. Yeah, Alan's like, that's a little fucked up. And she's like, yeah, kind of is, but what do you do, So Adam is still searching the skies on Seasmoke, and he actually does find Corlys, by the way, who's still alive somehow. And not only alive, but like he's doing all right.
Yeah.
Okay, so Chris and Matt, did you find this scene as hilarious as I found it?
I did.
There's a slapstick quality about this scene that I was laughing the whole time we were watching it. And
Aegon is just so
he's salty.
Incandescently
he's salty. Oh my god, because he's not speaking to Larys. But that's a problem because they're in the same fucking
there's even a joke about that. Larys is like, you've stopped asking for milk of the poppy, and Aegon's like, because I'm not talking to you.
I'm not talking. We're not friends anymore. So they go back to silence, and then some shit outside starts happening, and it's because some of the Triarchy guys have made landfall, and they're harassing the locals, right, or whatever. And so they're like, oh, okay. So obviously Larys immediately sees opportunity, and so does Aegon, because he kind of like sneaks off the carriage, pulls an arrow out of a guy, and breaks off the tip and holds on to it, right? And this, I put these screenshots in here because this shot of Larys's head just coming out of the carriage, like,
it's just Larys in a nutshell.
It's so funny that I almost expected like a goofy musical like Sting when he like poked his head out.
You could caption this, any feet pics? Question mark?
Yeah,
or just be Larys in a nutshell. Perfect.
Is outside where the feet pics are. So yeah, they're trying to figure out like how the fuck they're gonna get out of this. There is this guy that was with their caravan.
Poor guy.
Yeah. And then Larys is this shot here is Larys throwing a fucking birdcage at his head. And so as soon as he knocks him over, fucking Aegon runs in with that arrowhead and just shanks him like 1,000,000 times. And they grab
Tarantino shit.
Yeah, it is very Quentin Tarantino. Also, I just realized Larys Strong would probably be an enormous Quentin Tarantino fan, given the amount of feet that are in his movies. Yeah. So he after they seize their opportunity, Larys is like, "I've got gold. We've got your crown. We're going to Duskendale, and then everything will be fine." And Aegon's like, "Fuck that. We're not going to Duskendale. We're going to Rook's Rest." Because that's where there's a detachment of Cole's like dudes there, and we know. I don't think Aegon knows this, because I think Aegon thinks that Sunfire is dead, but we know that we did not see an on-screen death for Sunfire, and that was where he was last seen. So he is also returning in the same direction as his dragon, right? The problem is that the road is longer and more dangerous, and the night is dark and full of terrors. So, like, that's a risky move. But Aegon's like, "Fuck you, I'm the king. We're going."
Coming.
Yeah, and winter is coming. Right, all those terrible things all at once. I found this kind of sweet as well. That this is
just a really good shot.
Yes, this is what Corlys has left. His wife is dead. His home is in ashes, in ruins.
His other granddaughter has maybe done some light treason. Right.
Yeah. Yeah. They don't even know where the fuck she is. In fact, I think because this is another thing. I've seen some discourse online that they're like, how did Jace and Bela not see that it was Rhaena on Sheepstealer in the first episode? And I'm not sure. how that is true, because like if Reyna didn't have giant vibrant white locks just like Corlys does, like that shit stands out.
Yeah.
You know? So I'm not sure how they didn't or maybe I saw a theory that maybe Bela did see who it was, but she's keeping it to herself because she's afraid for her.
Could very well
Yeah.
be.
So anyway, this is what Corlys has left. He has 2 bastard sons, presumably a missing granddaughter, and his other granddaughter, who doesn't want to be heir to Driftmark. Remember from season 2. So Corlys pretty much tells the boys, he's like, yeah, I'm gonna make you all fucking Valerians. So, and we're gonna be a happy family. And Alan, in a moment of him dropping his like sternness, it was like, that sounds fucking rad. Let's do that. Okay, so Alicent looks out to see her son Aemond leaving on Vhagar on his way to Harrenhal, from the Dragon Pit. And
she's like, ugh.
Yeah, she's like, yeah, right. She's like wiping her mouth off. She's like, that motherfucker just tried to French kiss me. What the fuck? So she is like, oh, it is time to hatch the plan. So she runs to the city guard, I guess where the city guard takes their showers. Or, I don't know. There are a lot of dudes dropping dong in this fucking scene, right? Lots of dicks flopping around.
Very distracting.
Yeah. Yeah. So she runs up to the city guard guy. And she's like, look, I'm on a level with you. I committed some treason. Rhaenyra's on her way. We're going to open the doors for her. Are you in? And he's like, yes. Sure am. Next. And, oh my God, this fucking scene. I didn't realize until Daemon walked into this room that we've not seen him with Dumb and Dumber here before.
Oh shit, you're right.
And so it was like, oh no, because what was the first thing Ulf did when he walked in? He tries to give Daemon a hug.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And
they're long distant relatives,
yeah,
right?
And the look that Daemon gives him, he doesn't even
like,
touch him.
No, we don't do that here.
He gives him a look, and Ulf immediately aborts. He's like, oh, abort. And so Daemon is like, I thought your guys' mission, and correct me if I'm wrong, was to go to Harrenhal and wait for Vhagar and kill Vhagar, the 3 of you. And they're like, we did that, but he didn't show up. And he's like, okay, how long did you wait? 2 days. He's like, you dumb motherfuckers. 2 days isn't even long enough for a dragon to fly from King's Landing to fucking Harrenhal. So what did you expect? And Ulf is like, well, first of all, I like how he does the kids thing where he's like, well, Adam left too. Like, you're not yelling at him. And Damon's like, he's not here right now. And then he goes on to talk about all the whispery weird shit.
Some weird shit in the woods.
Right.
I think we saw a goat guy.
Yeah, fucking antler goat guy. And the second he mentions the creepy whispery shit at Harrenhal, Daemon rears back and backhands just the shit out of him, right? Because I'm pretty sure he's like, you weren't there the entire season last season. You don't need to tell me about fucking Scooby-Doo's Haunted Mansion. I was there. I lived it.
Do not speak to me of the old magic switch.
Yeah. Which, by the way, they do say Hugh Hammer is like, I'm pretty sure we ran into a witch. In fact, she said she was a witch. So, and he's like, oh yeah, I know her. I know who you're talking about.
Did she also say she was a barn owl?
Right. Yeah. So Daemon's like, okay, well, new rule, new Targaryen bastard family rule. No more thinking unless I give you the thoughts first. And they're like, okay. Now, I will say, I've said this probably every time we've ever talked about House of the Dragon. I have not read Fire and Blood. I don't know what happens. And from what I understand, there are a lot of divergences from the book as well. It seems like they're at least setting up a betrayal from Ulf. Who is...
You think so?
I absolutely, yes. He seems to be very put out by how everyone's treating him. And it wouldn't surprise me for Ulf to be like, fuck you guys. Like, you're not going to give me a castle. Fucking, pretty boy hair over here keeps smacking me in the face. I'm going to go off and do my own thing. And I can't see Hugh Hammer really being into it either. Because they're both common folk. they've both been trotted on by noble people their entire lives. So I don't know. It's a weird thing. Maybe Hugh Hammer a little less so than Ulf, but I feel like they're really cooking up Ulf, kind of turning Cloak a little bit. I love this conversation between Damon and Mysaria because of how how like when a writer has written a really good scene and really good dialogue, what's a good way to say this? Like there's a story in that scene that goes from point A to point B, and they do this in this scene. I'll explain what I mean. Damon and Mysaria start off in this conversation with Damon being like, "The last time I saw you here, you were in a fucking jail cell," and she's like,
yeah, because you broke your promise.
right, yeah. That and whose fault is that? And he's like, "Did you really like get close to the queen just so you could piss me off?" And Mysaria is like, "This is going to surprise you, Damon. Not everything's about you." And he's like, I have not seen evidence of that.
Beg to differ.
Yeah. But then through the course of the conversation, the mood shifts, and they sit down together as equals and talk about the problem. And I find this really good character work because we know that Mysaria and Damon in the show start off as, I mean, Mysaria was the sex worker down at the brothel that he liked to fuck. And then she became a power broker in King's Landing. And, well, actually, before that, she was with Damon on Dragonstone, just to piss Viserys off, right? And then she becomes a power broker in King's Landing. And now she's like a close advisor to the queen. And so the power dynamic has changed. Like, Damon doesn't really own her anymore. And so go ahead.
Also, they both have a very strong connection to Rhaenyra. Like, they both care about Rhaenyra very deeply in their own ways.
Also, maybe both romantically.
Possibly.
I don't know. Yeah. They've not revisited the Mysaria Rhaenyra thing from season 2, and they would be wise just to steer clear of that, I think, entirely. It didn't make a lot of sense to me. Not that I don't mind seeing. I love seeing lesbians in fucking media. Anytime you put LGBTQ plus representation in media, I'm here for it. But it just didn't make a lot of sense to me. So basically, they're trying to make sense of this thing from Alicent, right? And so Mysaria is like, look, I wasn't there when they had the conversation. It could all be bullshit. It could not be. The thing that, like, we can't do anything about is that there's this obvious connection between Rhaenyra and Alicent that even we don't enjoy. Like, they've known each other for so long, and they're so, like, they seem to be soulmates in some respects, so who knows if this is legitimate or not? Who knows if this is actually really what's, if it's a trap that Alicent has set, or if she's actually being, for real about it. So Alicent goes on fucking plotting, and she wants to see, like, the house guard, and she sends her Kingsguard guy off and everything. Rhaenyra obviously is bereft. Both of her sons have died. She's even in a place where she's like, the Iron Throne isn't worth this. This is so fucking dumb. Like, why did I sacrifice, like, my 2 oldest for this? And Damon reminds her of what's at stake, and he said I caught it here in the captions. He said, "I saw at Rhaenyra the darkness in the north, the song of ice and fire. I saw a girl with silver hair in a desert far away, and there were dragons at her breast." And every fucking diehard Game of Thrones fan in the world was like, they're talking about Daenerys. Nice.
I think even the casual ones were
yeah.
like, oh,
yeah.
It's yeah.
I know, that's Dragon Girl. They're talking about Dragon Girl.
Yeah, they're doing Leo pointing at the screen.
Yeah. And then he reminds her, like, if that shit's true, you are the one that's supposed to beat it all. So, like, what are you going to do about it? And this is kind of what shakes her from her, her current state of mind. So she's like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's go. This was a really weird scene to me.
This is really unpleasant.
So part of this, I think part of the reason this scene felt kind of off to me was that we don't know much about this guy in the first place. And I guess if you're a fan of like if you've read the book or whatever and you know more about this character, maybe it makes sense knowing about him. I don't know why all of a sudden he turns into like Mr. Rapey Hands. But he does. He shows up and he's like, I know you're plotting something, because your Kingsguard guy ratted you out, and I'm gonna I'm gonna approach you threateningly and then tell you that I want you to struggle and plead and everything. And she's like, I love this.
Well,
Go ahead.
He also mentions that, hey, you fucked Sir Crispy Cole a whole
Yeah,
lot.
right. Yeah, and I have dark curly hair, so
yeah, we're basically the same person.
We're practically the same. And I love this look on Alice. She's like, "What the fuck is wrong with you, dude?" So he throws her down, and he's gonna do it, right? And she screams for help, and Maester Orwyle, Grand Maester Orwyle, comes in, and he tries to dust himself off, and he tries to play cool, right? And he's like, "Hey, so glad you're here. I'm just about to call for you." Turns out Alicent here is plotting to do a treason, and Orwyle's like, "I don't know about that, but I definitely just witnessed you trying to sexually assault her, so you're going to jail." And he's like, "You can't send me to jail. I'm the master of laws. I send people to jail." And he's like, "Well, to jail, straight to jail." And so they throw fucking, what's his name? I don't even know his name. Fucking master of laws guy in a jail.
Touchy Hands.
Yeah, Mr. Touchy Hands. I really love this, by the way. So a recurring theme through the first 2 seasons of House of the Dragon is Rhaenyra wanting to do something and her council being like, "You can't. You're the queen. Everything's lost." Or some of them being like, "You're not capable. You're a woman."
Female.
Yeah, exactly. And she comes down to inform her council dudes what she's about to do, and they start doing the same song and dance, and she looks at Daemon and she's like, "I'm done talking," and just walks away. And
Daemon specifically says she did not ask your permission.
Right.
She is going.
Yeah. And I just love this realization. She's like, "I don't have to tell them what I'm doing," and she just walks away.
I'm the fucking queen. I can just do it.
Yeah, and I love the look that Daemon gives them after she walks away. He's like, "Yeah, I'm tapping that." On her way out, Mysaria hands her father's crown, and it's like, "Hey, if you're gonna go sit on the sword chair, maybe you want a hat to go with it." And she delivers an ominous reminder that now has me wondering what Mysaria might be up to. Because up until now, I was pretty convinced that Mysaria was swayed by Rhaenyra's demeanor and her good leadership. But she seems to be, she seems like she really wants to get her foot in as like, "Hey, pick me over Daemon."
Because she says
she's
what?
got an objective for sure.
Yeah, right. Because she says something like, "Hey, remember which one of us has been more loyal?"
Yeah.
Right. And it felt kind of weird. It was really funny is the look that Daemon gives her on the way out. He's like, "Oh, please, you don't compare to me." This is the shot of Syrax and Caraxes canoodling in their little, I guess, dragon driveway or whatever this thing is.
Look, they haven't seen each other for a long time.
I know.
They're old friends.
I know. I think they're boyfriend girlfriend. That's my headcanon. So this is the plan. They're gonna go to King's Landing. And they're gonna walk right in and take it. And Ulf and Hugh Hammer are gonna fly cover. And so Daemon comes up and he's like, "Remember our family rule now. No thoughts unless I give them to you. So remember that." And that look from Ulf after he takes his finger off his head and he turns around, Ulf is looking a little treasonous.
He's a little bit unhappy with the situation.
Yeah. I love this shot. I watched they do these 25-minute making of every episode HBO puts out. And I love this detail that they've added into the flight over that the flight starts with it being really overcast and gray and kind of rainy. And by the time they get to King's Landing, it's really bright and sunny. So Alicent finds Helena in the Godswood, and she's like, "Girl, Rhaenyra's on her way. Shit's going down." And Helena's like, "Oh no, they're like dragons aren't going to be hurt, are they?" And she's like, "Oh, they might be. We need to like since Aegon's run away, Aemon's on his way to Harrenhal. You're the queen." So we need to go tell everyone to stand down. Like, you need to go tell everyone to stand down.
Like, this will be a massacre unless we stand down.
So come on, girl, let's go. My only son, or my only kid. Come on. I do like this conversation she has with her. She's like, "Look, all of your brothers are pieces of shit. I hate them. You're my only child. You are like, this is my chance to redeem my only child and to make you happy. What do you want to do with our freedom?" She's like, "Chickens. I want to keep chickens." And fucking Alicent's like, "Sold. Let's go."
Absolutely.
And I love this line from her. They go up on the wall where the scorpion ballistas are, and Alicent's like, "You are to stand down. Rhaenyra's coming. You're not going to be able to stop her anyway, so like, leave your posts." And then Helena's like, "No, but really, I don't want any dragons to die. Like, this is like this is an order from the queen. No dragons are to be shot." Which I feel like that's the quality about Helena that I most identify with, because this would be my response to it. Be like, there will be no dragons being harmed. So Sir Crispy is still out in the middle of the woods. I think they're kind of near Harrenhal. Or they're waiting, I think, for Aemon to march on Harrenhal.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then they look up and, oh hey, that's a giant fucking dragon.
There's Vhagar. I really love the sound Vhagar makes when she's on her, like, it's that like low bassy, like you hear kind of like groaning and growling. It's like when my dog Jack crawls up the stairs and he makes old man noises. It's just like that. Yeah. So Aemond and Vhagar have they've come to Harrenhal, and he burns the garrison of troops that Daemon left. Thankfully, Oscar or the White Wolves and Alysanne aren't there. They're marching on their way to King's Landing. He also jumps in. So remember in season 2 when they do like the HGTV remake, like remodel of Harrenhal.
Yeah. This old house.
Yeah, this old house. Fucking Vhagar lands and just undoes all of it, knocks everything over, burns all the guards
on fire.
Yeah, and we get to see good old one-eye Aemond going at it.
One-eyed Willie.
Yeah, he's a pretty good fighter. Did you guys notice that his helmet on his left side where he's missing his eye, his helmet covers that part of his face?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't.
Yeah, right, because he doesn't need to see through it, so that's just more of his face he can protect, right? It's really neat.
Makes sense.
Yeah, so he cuts through all the guards. Vhagar just keeps burning people. I'm underselling how cool this action scene is, because a lot of the fighting is really neat. They did a lot of special. They set a lot of people on fire to make it happen, and it looks really, really good.
It's a fun little parallel to Daemon's arrival at Harrenhal.
To me, it feels like his arrival to King's Landing that we're about to see.
Oh
yeah, what he saw himself doing when he got to Harrenhal. Yeah. So he busts in, and I swear to God, Simon Strong is always eating something. This old queen only he eats like 11 meals a day. Him and his fucking idiot sons. Did we ever figure out if they're sons or grandsons?
I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll call them sons.
It doesn't matter. Fucking Dumb and Dumber here. So he more or less does the exact same thing when Daemon shows up, where he's like, "I've taken Harrenhal," and he's like, "That's great. I'm really happy for you." And he tries to talk Aemon down a little bit because Aemon wants to fight him.
Yeah, he walks in and says, "Fucking draw your sword." And Simon's like, "I don't have a sword.
Yeah.
Do you see how old and fat I am?
Yeah.
I haven't used a sword in years."
Do I look like a man that owns a sword?
Aemon's like, "Okay, well, if you're not gonna pull out your sword,
Jesus.
If you're not gonna pull out your sword, then I'm just gonna stab you."
I fixed that. I'm so sorry. Yeah. Yeah, so he fucking Godspeed Simon Strong. I loved this guy. I thought he was so great. He definitely did not deserve to die in the way that he did.
Before this scene, I was like kind of on the fence about Aemond, but now he's a huge jerk.
He also kills his other 2 sons / grandsons.
Well, he kills one of them. The other one kind of like
Oh
stabs him in
yeah,
the
he
ribs.
gets him. He gets a poke in, and I don't think that Aemond even really notices at first how bad it is, because he looks over and Alice is just fucking standing there ominously. Which, by the way, she could have just let this happen and, like, I don't know, walked out to Vhagar and been like, "Hey, I'm a bar now. You want to be friends?" And then an entire different thing could have happened from what ends up happening, right?
I want to see art of a barn owl riding on Vhagar.
That would be pretty neat.
Someone out there draw that,
yeah,
please.
Yeah, do it. So he collapses, and I think probably for the first time in his entire life, asks someone to help him. And Alice Rivers is like, I'll think about it.
Well, she just looks at him, and this has me thinking, because, like, there's no way they kill Aemond this way, right?
No, I think, and remember, I've not read the book. I don't think that Aemond dies any other way than at the hands of Daemon Targaryen.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Which what I'm predicting happens, or what happens in my head, is Alice like patches him up and then says, "Okay, you're giving me Harrenhal, right?" And Aemond's like, "Sure, I guess.
Yeah,
I mean,
whatever.
It's mostly ashes now, but whatever you want, man."
Yeah, I don't give a fuck. I thought it would have been really funny if this is how they decided to kill Aemond, that one of the strong boys killed him.
Yeah.
After all that hemming and hawing in the first season about Jacaerys and Lucerys being strongs and calling them strong boys, like, for him to be stabbed and killed by a strong would have been really funny to me.
Yeah.
So here come the dragons. And I like this guy at the ballista who's like, "Well, pack it up, boys. We're going home." And they turn around and they walk away. And it's like I said earlier, it's a nice bright sunny day in King's Landing. Temperature's probably right around 75 degrees. Not a cloud in sight. And the dragons land. And I like how there are shots of, like, the dragon riders, the bastard dragon riders, the people that they're hanging out with before they became dragon riders. Like, there's the one brothel girl who knew Ulf, who, like, talked to him in the bar, and then, like, Hugh's wife is there and looks up, and I don't think she even realizes that that's him. So they all arrive at King's Landing, and they go into the courtyard of the Red Keep, and all of the Hightower guards, or all the family guards for the Greens, put their weapons down. And
because, like, what else are they gonna do?
Right, but this is also
Fuck that shit.
This is also kind of their first bit of evidence that maybe Alicent wasn't lying to them, that maybe they weren't setting a trap. But Daemon reminds Rhaenyra, like, this might change when we get into the castle, like once we get into the keep.
Which is the true test of inside. Or
yeah, exactly. And indeed, they get into the Red Keep, and that's when the guards start trying a little harder. But it doesn't matter, because, as we know, our boy Daemon is a fucking badass, and he cuts them all down very easily. And I love this moment where he gets this guy and, like, sticks him to the floor, and then calls out, "Who else dares rise against us in our own house?" And then no one answers, and he pulls the sword out, and he's like, "Fuck you." They just keep going.
I just want to point out that he won 1 versus 5 right there.
I do. Oh, also, really poignant, kind of sad detail. We see Rhaenyra wearing a sword for the very first time, which is her son Jacaerys' sword.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So they cut through some guards. Daemon opens the door to the throne room and has this fucking proud look on his face. And he's like, "Baby, we made it. Let's go." And I swear to God, Game of Thrones has us all conditioned that we're like, this is where an arrow would, like, hit Daemon in the face or something, and then they would kill Rhaenyra or something. You know what I mean? Like how, like, in Game of Thrones, every triumph is tempered with some kind of, like, catastrophe.
Sure.
So they get into the throne room. It is entirely empty, just as promised. But as they get closer, they run into the guy from the King's Guard and a bunch of guards. And
I love the implication here that Daemon is ready to fight
Oh,
every single one
oh
of those
yeah,
motherfuckers.
yeah. Because what does he say? He says, "You're brazen or you're thick," and Daemon goes, "It depends on if I win or lose." And
this is your reminder that while Rhaenyra may ride Syrax, Daemon is her dragon.
oh yeah, absolutely, yeah. I think that actually this whole them making it through a King's Land or through the Red Keep kind of speaks to that. Rhaenyra also draws her sword. I think at this point I don't necessarily know. I don't know if she necessarily cares if she dies trying to do it. She's just ready to fight something, right? And they all kind of snicker, right? Oh no, a woman with a sword, right? And then on cue, the entire city walks in, and Daemon like turns around and he's like, oh, and he looks at the sky and he's like, hi, what's your name again? Tony or whatever the fuck. He's like, yeah, man, it's Tony, the guy that you made a city guard 20 years ago, and now I'm the captain, and I owe you my life and my sword and blah blah blah. And the one true King Rhaenyra or Queen Rhaenyra, and Daemon's like, nice. And so he turns back. This guy realizes it's over, right? Because his guard all throw down their swords.
Because like his guys, when it was them against Daemon and maybe Rhaenyra, they outnumber them in like at least 10-1. Those are pretty good odds even against Daemon.
Yeah.
The entire city guard outnumbers them like 3-1
plus Daemon.
Yeah. So it's just not happening.
Right. So yeah, they take him off, and he's like, the king's gonna be pissed, and the hand's gonna be pissed, and they're like, I don't think you realize what's happening here today, my friends. I also do love the moment where Daemon like turns around and has a bro moment after this, and they like give each other a hug and everything. He's like, I knew you were a cool dude. So Rhaenyra commands them to bring Aegon, because she is ready to take that boy's head, and they go through the Red Keep, and they go to the king's quarters, and he is not there. But they find Orwyle there, who's like, I don't know where the fuck he went. He left, and there's this line where Daemon's like, loath as I am to kill a maester, someone's got to fucking die today, right? And Orwyle's like, well, if it has to be somebody, I've got someone maybe you would like to kill. And so he takes him down to the dungeons. Oh, not yet. Sorry. This is Alicent and Helena trying to escape the city. Takes Daemon down to the dungeons to Sir Rapey Hands. And Daemon's like, yeah, that'll do. And this fucking old creepy guy comes out with a torch, and he's like, and this is one of those things where I was like, he's like, wait, what is happening here? This guy is like, Larys Strong said that if you ever came back to King's Landing to give you a gift. And Daemon's like,
I was absolutely certain this was a trap at first.
I thought it might have been too, though I think Matt will probably attest to this. I started thinking the correct thing.
You already knew.
Because it started making sense to me. The thing that didn't make sense to me was that Larys Strong set this up, but which we'll talk about in a second. But so Daemon's like, well, first of all, who the fuck is Larys Strong? And second of all, let's see it. And he takes him into a jail cell, and he looks through the fucking bars, and he just starts laughing. And it is the funniest shit in the world. And this is when I knew who it was, right? There's only one man in a jail cell that would make Daemon Targaryen laugh like this. So in the throne room, they bring Sir Jasper, Master of Laws. And they put him down. He's about to be beheaded, and then Daemon calls from the door. He's like, the rats in the black cells have gotten real fucking big. Look at this fucking rat. And from the back, you know immediately that it's Otto Hightower.
Yeah.
And I think this is the first time Otto has seen sunlight in a while, and he is. I will give this to Otto. He is defiant until the end. This man. Yeah. He's this like look of just utter contempt for everyone in his presence. He's like, you fucking people, I'm so tired of this. So Rhaenyra realizes this is the man that started everything. He was the one that orchestrated the coup after Viserys died. I think that maybe even she and Damon have their own little conspiracy theories about whether or not Otto was slowly poisoning her father, and she is surprised, and I think to see him, but also like, oh, okay, well, we're gonna do that today, I think. And they put him on his knees, and Damon talks to Rhaenyra, and he's like, look, everybody in the room is watching. This is when you become queen. And like Otto is like fucking, he's like, let your husband do it. Like, you know, I don't want to be hacked at. And then he mentions Viserys. When he's like, you know, your father wouldn't have believed it's come to this, even if we told him, and that really sets her off.
Rhaenyra's like, you do not talk about my father.
Yeah,
bitch.
you keep his name out of your motherfucking mouth. And so I think Damon realizing that this is Rhaenyra's first beheading, and realizing that the sword that she's wearing is not Valyrian steel, lends her his sword. He's like, here, baby, this one will cut a little cleaner. And he hands her Dark Sister. And she walks over and she takes a swing, but she does that thing where, you know how like some people, when they're first learning to fire guns, they close their eyes before they shoot? That's exactly what Rhaenyra does, where she pulls back to swing.
Across the shoulders.
Yep. She pulls back to swing. She closes her eyes and then she swings, and it hits him. Yeah, like right across the shoulder blades, and it's fucking gnarly. And
it's like, oh, motherfucker.
Yeah. To her credit, though, she pulls back, and fucking the next strike, his head comes clean off.
Yeah.
Right. And
Damon just looks on like, I have a boner. Right
yeah, I love this look of satisfaction. He's like, that's why I married this girl. Goddamn. Also, the fucking city guard guy is like, ooh, man, this is a dramatic day in King's Landing. Goddamn. So they hear a disturbance at the door of the throne room.
Oh, but right before this, Damon,
right, yeah, go ahead.
Head's the other guy.
Oh yeah. He cuts Jasper, whatever the fuck his name is.
Runs over and does it.
Mid sentence, by the way, because what does he start saying? He's like,
"Tell my wife I love her" or something.
Yeah.
Before he gets like through 3 words, Damon.
He's like, yeah, no last words for you. And then there's this another fucking brilliant performance by Emma Darcy as she approaches the Iron Throne, and every step of the way,
brilliantly shot as well, because like she's standing in a puddle of Otto Hightower's blood.
Yeah,
and she kind of stumbles and slips on her way up there.
Yeah,
and like you can see the bloody footprints as she's walking up.
Yeah, it is literally it's Rhaenyra literally wading through blood to get to the throne, right? It's very poetic. It's very symbolic. And Rhaenyra approaches the throne, and Emma Darcy does this beautifully nuanced performance where Rhaenyra goes through this whole range of emotions. It's hesitancy and relief and like all-consuming grief, but a sense of purpose, and it's all wrapped into one, and it's like it is brilliant. And she sits down and she turns, and you can tell like she sits down real carefully, because she's like, that shit cut my dad. That's what killed him. I'm not letting this chair cut me. And that's when they hear a disturbance in the back of the room, and I guess the small folk that Alicent and Helena were trying to save by not having a battle turned them the fuck in, and they get into the throne room, and Alicent looks down to see her father's decapitated body on the floor, and then she looks up at Rhaenyra, and you can tell that whatever goodwill that last conversation they had produced, where they came to an understanding about going to King's Landing and letting Alicent and Helena go, that's gone.
Yeah, because Alicent may not love her sons, but she definitely loved her father, or at least respected him.
Which I think if I were Alicent, I would just let this one go. Like, girl, Otto Hightower was a terrible man. She
knew exactly what he was up to.
It's like everything from. I mean, he he sent her as a teenager to seduce the king after his wife died, and groomed her to do his political bidding her entire life, and then orchestrated the coup that led to a war, right? Like this, all this shit is on Otto Hightower. If you would have gone the day before Viserys died and killed Otto Hightower, none of this shit would have happened, right? So it's like, Alicent, just let this one go, girl. Maybe he deserved it. Maybe we just call it even and you can go with Helena, you know? Though I feel like that's probably not what's going to happen. So before we're done for the evening, what do you guys make of the Larys Strong saving Otto for Daemon?
I think Larys Strong absolutely strikes me as the guy who would have contingency plans for his contingency plans.
Yeah, like you might as well.
On the one hand, like, if everything falls apart and Rhaenyra and Daemon end up taking the throne, I want to get in on their good side.
I want to say that I helped or I did something.
Yes.
Yeah, I give something of value. Yeah. I think that's
also, it is much easier to scheme when the other schemers are off the board, and there are very few people who are as good at scheming as Otto Hightower.
What a great point that is, because Otto Hightower was the schemer. He was the master schemer. You're right. Having him out of the way, because like game recognizes game, right?
Yes. So not only, like, even if Daemon comes back to the Red Keep and makes it a permanent solution to Otto Hightower, that's great. But even just leaving him in prison for a while, that keeps him off the board and unable to scheme against you.
Yeah. So we knew that Otto was captive at the end of the last season. I think that Larys must have nabbed him pretty close after Aegon fired him as Hand of the King, and he was going to go back to Old Town. I don't think he ever made it out of King's Landing. I think that he probably nabbed him pretty quick, which means it puts some of the stuff that Larys does in season 2 into more interesting relief, because that's when he started trying to weasel his way in as Hand of the King as well. Like he started trying to manipulate his way into that position. So knowing that he was doing that with the knowledge that Otto was never coming back, like that's actually really cool. That's some neat storytelling, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Well, we'll be back next week to talk about the 3rd episode. So thank you for the comments and the support, and we will see you in a week.